What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Vol Opinion back with another live video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Vol is going live, man. With that being said, let's get into this intro. Welcome to Big Vol Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Vol Opinion platform. R.Kelly asked that everyone come together and push the message about this BOP officer, Natasha K, sharing his private emails and conversations with government star witnesses. Now, you have people that are out here doing the work, pushing the message. If those people that are pushing the message about this BOP officer is being attacked by so-called R.Kelly supporters, you should think twice before you listen.
And I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing here.
Kel say, confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. Yo. Welcome to the chat. What's up, everybody? What's up? It's your boy Big Vol Opinion back with another live video. And y'all already know how it go down. Man, last night live was lit. The energy was live. The love was there. Man, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Man, ain't no family like the one I got, man. Salute to you all for coming over, kicking it, supporting me, hanging in there with me, kicking it with me. Man, look here, man. Hey, look, God is moving. And when you let God take control, all you got to do is buckle up for the ride. When you let God take control, all you have to do is buckle up for the ride, man. Where y'all watching from, man? Come on, let's get in the chat, man. Where you watching from? It's time to call the roll, man.
Can't believe council culture is really a thing. We throw away our legends easily, make them a meme. Cultural obligation, what does it really mean? We gotta stay on code, don't go against the team. You don't have to stand with me, just don't stand against. But if you gon' pick a side, don't straddle the fence. Mainstream media with propaganda, selective outrage, now we see the slander. False narratives being painted, the truth's tainted. As a result, the majority mind manipulated. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Do your due diligence, think for yourself, stay free. So many different agendas, it's hard to keep count. They use us against us, so many selling out. It's a sad thing to witness, it's all for the clout. The culture's compromised, and that's without a doubt. The culture's supposed to cultivate.
Man, that brother say, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Boy, if that ain't a real line, If that ain't a real statement right there, if that ain't a real statement, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Man, that boy was dropping some bars in that thing. Cultural obligation. What does it really mean? We throw away our legends. Oh, man. Come on, man. We got to stop writing our people off, man, just because these people come out and say they this and say they that, man. We know how the hood work. We know how this thing operate. We got to keep it real. And we don't keep it real with nobody else. We got to keep it real with ourselves, man. We got to keep it real with ourselves. If we don't keep it real with nobody else, we got to keep it real with ourselves, man. Cultural obligation. What does it really mean? This man dropping jewels in that joint, man. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. If that ain't the realest shit, man, come on, man. Do I gotta tell y'all? If that ain't the realest shit, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Y'all know how that shit go in the hood, man. Y'all know how that shit go in the hood. The story go from this person to that person. You hear somebody hear something, they go from one person to the next person. The story change. They gonna either leave some out or they gonna add some in. That's just how the shit go in the hood, man. You tell the motherfucker something, by the time they tell the next person, they gonna either leave some out or they gonna add some in. And that's just how the hood go, man. But they want us to think that the hood is so soft now. They just want us to think that the hood allow people to walk around freely that's out here touching children. They just want us to think that the hood just allow people to sell drugs to kids. They just want us to think that the hood allow people to sell drugs to pregnant women. They just want us to think that the hood, it ain't the hood no more. Come on, man. We got to stand up for the shit that we believe in. We got to stand up for what the fuck we know. We got to stand up for what we know. We got to stop letting these people paint our picture when we still here to paint our own goddamn picture. You feel me? We got to stop letting these people paint our picture on our culture when we here to paint our own cultural picture, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's let these people, they celebrate their greats. They celebrate their kings. They celebrate their queens, but they want all ours locked up. They want all ours with these stigmas attached to them. And I ain't talking about just Kells. I'm talking about Mike. I'm talking about Michael Jackson. I'm talking about Michael Jordan. I'm talking about Prince. I'm talking about Sam Cooke. I'm talking about, the list goes on, Johnny Taylor. How many of our icons that they said had drug addictions? Red Fox. You know what I'm saying? Goes on, Richard Pryor. Look how they do. You see how they treat our people? You see how they put all of our icons and all of our legend, all of our goats. They put all of their business out to the public for the public to see and for us to be judged by the public. But then they celebrate theirs. Y'all don't see an issue with that? Y'all don't have an issue with that? Man, at some point, as a race, as a culture, we have to stand up and take a step back and look at this picture for what it really is. Like Kel say, sometimes you're gonna have to look at shit for what it sure enough is. And what I'm starting to see is that when it comes to our culture, when it comes to our race, you know, we always have to be deemed as, you know, as people that just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I just can't no longer accept that. I can no longer accept that. You know what I'm saying? All of our greats gotta have some type of negative mark next to their name. All of our legends gotta have some type of negative mark next to their name. They got some type of bullshit story attached to them. Bill Cosby, come on, man. Y'all don't see what's going on. Y'all haven't started to see what's going on. Every icon that we can think of, Don Cornelius, it goes home. Every icon that we can think of that looks like us, they all have some type of fucked up story attached to their name. But then they celebrate theirs, right? They celebrate Elvis, right? Let you talk about Elvis. Let you bring up Elvis around the wrong people. You might have to fight to get up out of that motherfucker. But you know how we do it over here, man. I'm staying focused. I'm staying focused, moving right ahead. I know sometimes this shit may seem repetitive, but guess what? It is what it is. We're going to keep pushing this message. We're going to keep bringing exposure to this BOP officer. We're going to keep bringing exposure to Tasha K. We're going to keep bringing exposure to the witness tampering that was done. We're going to keep bringing exposure to all of the corruption that was done within this case. If y'all going to take one of our greats down, y'all going to have to take them down fair and square. We're not going to sit back and continue to let y'all wipe our community out of all of our history, all of our achievements, just to sit back and celebrate y'all's. No, we can't continue to do that. We can't continue to allow that type of behavior to go on. You know what I'm saying? But it's so sad that it ain't even, these other races and ethnicities, they break the stories on the news, but it's our people in the hood who carry the story throughout the hood. It's our people in the hood that write our own people off. As soon as we hear something about our greats, we write them off right away. We the ones talking about them. It's our people, the one who, that motherfucker did it. Yeah, that motherfucker guilty. Yeah, this is our people. These people bring the story, but it's our people that carry the bone. These people talk about they try to diminish all of our legends. They try to diminish all of our legends. Man, if you really want to look back, man, go back and look at the history of all of our black musicians. Man, a great percentage of them were hooked on drugs. Where were they getting the drugs from? Who was funding them the drugs? They was going to get record deals, and the record labels was reaping all the benefits from the music, but then was feeding the musician drugs in return. They have fucked our whole culture up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's all crazy out here. Anybody that has done dirt to Kels, anybody who has done dirt to Kels, gonna have to pay a price. They will have to pay a price. If you have done some dirt to Kels, you gonna have to pay a price. God is watching all things. He sees it all. But shout out to my brother Jeff. Shout out to my brother Jeff. For hitting me up earlier with a YouTube clip. Much love. We got a clip from Wack 100. Wack 100 voiced his opinion on the R.Kelly situation. He gave his thoughts on how he feel about the R.Kelly situation. And at this point, Wack 100, he said some things in his statement that let me know that Wack 100 has been watching. Wack 100 has been paying attention as well. Look, Big Val opinion is Big Val opinion. So don't come in my chat with that shit. I'm not for it. I'm not with it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I am my own person. So if you can't come in my chat and be respectful, then you can get blocked up out of this motherfucker. Big Vi is his own person. I'm my own man. You won't see me and shit, ain't seen me and shit, and ain't got nothing to do with shit. So if you can't be respectful in my chat, you finna get blocked. Point blank, period. If you got so much to say about whoever you talking about, you go tell them people. That has nothing to do with me whatsoever. Big Val opinion speak for Big Val opinion and Big Val opinion only. That's why the shit say Big Val opinion. I don't speak for nobody else. And that's simple as that. So yesterday we got what appears to some people to be a small victory yesterday. In our reality, was a huge victory. This was a huge victory because when we look at what happened yesterday, with Kim Foxx choosing to drop the Chicago State case, the Chicago State case is what brought on Homeland Security in the federal government. The Chicago State case is what brought on Homeland Security in the federal government. So now you got to ask about this. You got to ask yourself, now, if her case was the head of the snake and she chose to drop it, what does that mean for the rest, for the other two trials that took place? What was the basis of the other two trials that took place? If her case was the head of the snake, why would she drop it after the other two trials took place? I know some people are going to say because New York, he already got found guilty, then he got found guilty in Chicago. Okay, but her case is what brought on the head. Her case was the head of the snake. And she clearly come on television yesterday and did a press conference, and she cut the head of the snake off. But I understand why she would do that. She cut off the head of the snake because she don't want to face the heat herself. And what he could Big Vi possibly be talking about? What he could Big Vi possibly be talking about? She don't want to face the heat of those text messages between her and Michael Avenatti. Those private meetings in O'Hara between her and Michael Avenatti. She don't want to face the questions or the investigation of one of her prosecutors, Angel Cruz, who said that Homeland Security advised her to make this fake email by the name of Boss Baby to contact star witnesses in the Chicago case. See, she's trying to avoid facing the consequences of what is to come for her in her office, who brought about these bogus charges, who created a hotline, which means she solicited a hotline for people to call in if they ever been hurt or harmed or abused by R.Kelly. So what if you are someone who used to talk to R.Kelly and he no longer speaks to you and you are mad? Guess what? You can call this hotline and say, well, he did this to me. And guess what the prosecutors was going to do? They were going to bring charges. They wasn't going to investigate, well, do you know Robert? When did this happen? No, they just going to bring charges based because you said that he abused you, and your only purpose for you saying that is because he no longer deal with you. That's not right. That's not fair. This prosecutor, Kim Foxx, she solicited people to call, and she set up a hotline. Why? She don't want to release the hotline. She don't want to release the voice recordings from the hotline of people calling and talking about how good of a person R. Kelly was and what he has done for them, what he have done for their families, the funerals that he's paid for, the charities that he's donated to, how much this man has done for the city of Chicago, how much he has given back. The hotline did not work to her benefit. That's why she want to close this shit down. She came out and brought a case after watching Surviving R. Kelly. Then the first thing you say when you start your press conference is, I am a victim of sexual assault. So now you're not acting as a prosecutor. You are speaking as a victim. So this shit resonate with you. Whether what you saw on Surviving R. Kelly was true or false. Once you heard the word victim of, you became emotionally and personally involved. So you decided that you needed to do something. Not based off the facts. The man lived in Chicago. It's proof that this man, Cook County tried to bring charges against this man twice. They tried to bring charges against R. Kelly twice after the 2008 trial. Both times they investigated, they found no wrongdoing. But miraculously, in 2018, they started filming a docu-series where a bunch of people came together for a whole year. They came together for a whole year, putting together this docu-series, all working together. Like Gayle King, all these women can't be lying. Well, if all these women are in the same room together, rehearsing their story, of course they can all be lying. They all readers from the same script.
Good afternoon. Tomorrow morning, counsel for Mr. R.Kelly is scheduled to appear in court over the indictments that we brought forth nearly 4 years ago, charging him with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 victims. I'm here to inform you that the Cook County State's Attorney's Office will no longer be pursuing these indictments.
So now that this is over, hold on just a second, you guys. Hold on just a second. I forgot to upload this. Just a second.
While one of the government witnesses was sitting there with Tasha K on the internet, there's a picture of it. It's a go figure that my information was being shared with, witnesses. And it was being shared by the Tasha K. So a DOP officer, disciplinary hearing officer, which is a judge in the Bureau of Prisons, how do you even know a YouTube blogger? These questions you have to ask yourself. These questions people have to ask themselves. And I'm not going to lie. I don't have anything bad against the DOP. I don't have anything, I'm not mad or anything or have anything against law enforcement or anything. I just have something against this one individual who accessed illegally my records 153 times. And on that same day, the affidavit said that there were 60 other BOP employees that accessed my records illegally on that same day. So there you have 61 BOP employees that work for federal that illegally access my records, my phone calls, my emails. And the last time, and when you talk to your, just put it like this, when you talk to your female, I'm kind of pausing because I want to make sure that I don't go into my case.
Right.
Excuse me for that.
No, you're fine.
But to give you a scenario, if you tell one woman, hey, I'm going to give you the money, you put the money behind the blue couch, and because the other lady is spending the money, and she's not supposed to be spending it because I need that money for lawyers. So you're being more responsible. You take the money, put it behind the blue couch, and don't tell her, just hold it and use that for emergencies or if I need anything or pay bills or whatever. The other woman is not supposed to know the very next day where that money is.
Right.
I'm not supposed to get a call, which I did from my girl saying they took the money, they left a note saying F you and F him, I'm going to do what I have to do. These things is happening. These things happening in 2019, and then I get another visit from the woman who took the money, and she tells me, since when did you start giving her the money, and why did you tell her to put it behind the couch and not tell me? Don't lie to me. I heard the phone call. So in 2019, I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she hear that phone call? In 2019, I'm trying to figure out why would she tell me in the last visit that, oh, and since when did you start calling her Cookie? By nickname on email. I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she know I call her Cookie? She say, don't lie to me. I fucking saw the emails. Excuse my language. I saw the fucking emails. That's what she said. And why would you tell your lawyer that you're not leaving her for me? Well, I did actually have that conversation with my lawyer. And now I'm trying to figure out how the hell she hear this. She say, I don't give a fuck. I know your voice. You cannot fucking lie to me. I know your voice. Well, I wasn't debating whether she knew my voice or not. I was in my mind trying to figure out, in 2019, how did she know?
Yeah.
Well, in 2019, a BOP disciplinary hearing officer was illegally accessing my phone calls, my emails, and sharing them with Tasha K. Tasha K said it on her own podcast, on platforms, that she was sharing that information with government witnesses' parents. While one of the government witnesses was sitting there with Tasha K on the internet, there's a picture of it.
Okay. They fucking with me, y'all. They fucking with me. Somebody got something going on. But I will not be distracted. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay on task. I will not be denied. See? I will not be denied. I will not be denied. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen it. It's the situation that just happened where my whole mic just cut off. My whole mic just cut off. But Kim Fox, these are text messages from Michael Avenatti to Kim Fox. Good morning, Kim. Please see about
Please see above. I land at 10:52. Perhaps we could meet at the O'Hare Hilton immediately after I land. Alternatively, if there's a location at the O'Hare that you have access to, that would work as well. Best Michael. And he said, Best Michael. Kim Fox is in the blue. Kim Fox responds, good morning. Looking to see if we can find a private space at O'Hare, such that you don't have to worry about security. I'll let you know where shortly. Then it go back. She texts, good morning. Looking to see, well, that's the same thing. Good morning, looking to see if we can find a place. Then he said, thanks, let me know. Then she texts him back. An investigator from my office will meet you at the gate and escort you to the office we secured. Then Michael Avenatti texts her back. Excellent. Thanks, Kim. I look forward to it. And thank you. I can't see because of my stream going. So this is around the time that Michael Avenatti had given. This is around the time that Michael Avenatti did give Kim Fox these text messages. This is around the time that Michael Avenatti gave Kim Fox this supposed sex tape. See, this is the shit that Kim Fox is trying to avoid. She's trying to avoid all of this. Why were you reaching? Why were you meeting up with Michael Avenatti in secured locations in the O'Hare Airport when you was in the midst of bringing charges against R.Kelly? Why did Michael Avenatti come out and say? Now, I want everybody to pay attention. What did Michael Avenatti promise these alleged victims? I want y'all to listen to this. What did Michael Avenatti promise the alleged victims? Michael Avenatti promised the alleged victims that R. Kelly would never see the light of day again. Now, think back to yesterday's press conference. What did Kim Fox say after dropping the charges? What did Kim Fox say after dropping the charges yesterday? She said, I'm sure that Robert Kelly would never see the light of day again. How is she so sure of that? We got to ask ourselves, how is she so sure of that? What's up, Classy by the name? Welcome to the panel. Clara, ask you, welcome to the panel. What up, Larry Cox? What's going on, Larry? Welcome, everybody. I see some new names in the chat that I haven't seen. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're gonna get into we got a tweet from Bunjean Law Firm today. We got a tweet from Bunjean Law Firm. And the tweet went something like this. This is Ashley Cohen. The CCSAO dismissed all charges against Mr. Kelly this morning. This was the right decision, and we are pleased to have that matter behind us. Our focus now is on the EDNY appeal, which will highlight the fundamentally unfair trial
he suffered in New York. Thank you for all the support. Bunjean and her group is working. Bunjean and her group is working. Bunjean and her crew is working, y'all. And there's so many violations we can call out from the New York trial. But R.Kelly is telling us what to focus on. R.Kelly is giving us an idea of what to focus on. So I'm gonna let you hear what Wack 100 had to say about the situation. And I think that we need to start hashtagging Wack 100 and maybe we like we do Boosie, just like we do Boosie with the information, because we know Boosie will speak about it. Maybe we need to start hashtagging Wack 100 and get some of this information over to Wack 100 that we know, and maybe Wack 100 to talk about it in the club, in the clubhouse, and different things that he go to. Shout out to Death Shack 2 time. Shout out to my boy Jeff for sending me this link. Shout out to my boy Jeff for sending me this link. But shout out to Death Shack 2 time. This is his video that I took that I took a clip from. So shout out to Death Shack 2 time. And we're gonna hear what Wack 100 had to say about the R. Kelly situation.
I think he'll be on for the next 2 to 3 years.
Damn. This nigga Wack on.
That's a loud goddamn magazine. 2 to 3 years. All right.
Lock him up and throw that key.
Nah, because you got to remember, right, when a lot of the shit is coming out, that the parents was in cahoots with whatever it is they was doing, right? They trying to make this nigga look like human trafficking. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the parents was part of that. And what people don't even want to understand is that, like, the girls was able to leave. They could leave and go get their stuff from their parents' house or from whatever, then come right back. Like, it was literally, he pretty much had Bad Girls Club in his house.
And where he was going wrong is, he in Illinois, I think up there is like 16 or something, maybe 17, 1, 2, right?
It's
he in Illinois, so he jump on a plane, right? And we going to Miami or wherever we going. They trying to say it, all these state lines you crossed over. This state might have been 18. This state might have. You didn't have consent. That's how they twisted. Right? Like he really ain't did nothing wrong. Like he ain't.
It's just because he took him cross state lines.
He took him cross, but the same is living with him in the house. This is where they live. Yo, shit, we got to go to such and such. Right? Who going? Y'all, all right, let's go. Sprinter, get Tennessee. Right? But now they saying, well, because you drove them from here to there, it's trafficking.
Now I see why the feds picked it.
That's why they picked it up.
Free R. Kelly.
It's a lot of the fake outrage.
No, ain't no free R. Kelly. Keep him right.
Yes, it is. Free R. Kelly.
R. Kelly ain't.
Hashtag free R. Kelly.
Let's be real. Like
the one who said don't free R. Kelly, that's like one of those ones that they don't care. Like when the facts come out that you really didn't do nothing wrong, they already in their feelings, so they're gonna just keep on being an asshole. That's crazy. How you gonna say not free the man if nobody actually was a victim? There was really no problem. Technically, he didn't even break the law if the age of consent and all that was the correct age. You just don't like him.
Look, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all heard any other victims say they was a victim?
Right, that's the point.
No.
Exactly.
No.
That's the whole point right there. Wack, we ain't heard that at all.
They are being, listen, because they told their story, the feds are saying, well, based on this, we can charge them with this. I haven't heard any other victims say, I'm a victim.
Right.
Big screen. Yes. I've never heard one of them say that they was a victim. Don't let me speak. I'm not going to speak too fast. Probably like one of them on that show, I know that Surviving R. Kelly thing, said that they was a victim. Literally, if you really think about this stuff, I say, you are claiming you're a victim. They were all around the age. They knew what was happening. They all knew what was happening. Like, so R. Kelly being charged for all this stuff, the only thing we can say is that
So Wack 100 say he can see Kels coming home in the next 2 to 3 years. Wack 100 is speaking, like Jeff say, he's speaking in the right ballpark, but he don't have enough of the knowledge that we have. Because we've been over here doing the research. Shout out, what up, Coretta? And I agree 100% with what you said, Coretta. I believe anybody that did any wrongdoing towards R. Kelly while he's been going through this situation, they have a price to pay. They need to be held accountable. I absolutely agree with that. So, with Wack speaking the way that he speaks, then how do you think Wack would feel if he heard this recording?
At the same time, because I know who I was talking to. It's hard to trust people. People take my words, they twist them, and all I'm trying to do is get out the truth.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I continue talking is because even though I'm in the dark and don't know who I'm talking to, my strength comes from because I'm telling the truth. So I was going to say, man, you mean to tell me a BOP disciplinary hearing officer is going to just wake up one day and say, let me just take a chance on my career, losing my career and going to jail, and just access all of my private phone calls?
It doesn't make sense, because personally I wouldn't risk my career like that.
That's my point. Let me just take a chance and just access R.Kelly's records, private records between him and his girlfriend and his attorney 153 times. So let me do it 153 times. Let me scan that to my own personal Gmail, and then let me send that to a blogger, Tasha K, who happens to know my girlfriend Joycelyn father really good, who happens to know the parents of the government witness in my case. These are not coincidences, man. This is a plan. What plan it is, people have to figure that out for themselves. But it's a plan. Those are too many coincidences. And who's gonna do that? And besides, I'm already going through enough. So I wrote this thing down because I don't want to be scrambling on this phone for my little 15 minutes.
I got you.
And I know my own handwriting, so when people hear me say I wrote this down, I don't want nobody to go, oh, I thought you couldn't write. Well, I can't spell, but I can write. So this is my own handwriting. I said, I'm already going through enough. And the last thing I need is a BOP officer and a blogger illegally stealing and sharing my private phone calls and emails. Between me and my relationship, who just happened to be the government's star witness in my case. They have to stop acting like this didn't happen, or like it's not a big deal, because it's a really big deal. So big that I believe it tainted my case in a lot of ways, which also I believe was the plan, at least when it comes to this BOP officer and Tasha K. Because ask yourself, what other reason would a BOP officer, a disciplinary hearing officer who's like a judge in the prisons, why would they illegally access all of my emails and phone calls? Why? What is the reason to do that? And send that to her own personal Gmail account. Give all of that that information to a very influential blogger, Tasha K. Why would Tasha K need to share all of that with government witnesses in my case? Why were they both allowed to get away with it? This happened 4 years ago. This happened around the same time my girl was flipping on me and lying on me. It's been 4 years now, and I, nor my attorneys, even know who this lady is, this BOP officer. Don't know her name. I don't know if she's white, black, I don't know what. I just, we haven't been told anything. How does she know Tasha K? How did they meet on this planet? How did a disciplinary hearing officer and a blogger meet?
Grown right here in the Lone Star State. To bring the freshest of Texas.
Yeah, people will say R.Kelly's just fishing. He's just trying to figure something out to get out of jail. You're damn right, because I'm not supposed to be in here. You don't have to fish, though, with this situation, because there's a search warrant, an affidavit that backs up everything I'm saying. People are just ignoring it. But it exists. It's in the public. It's in the system. It's in black and white that this BOP officer and Tasha K did this. And although the investigation is not fully disclosed, it should be. It was executed by a federal agent. Not R.Kelly, not my attorneys, but by a federal agent. It was signed off by a federal judge who would never sign off on a search warrant unless there was enough probable cause to do so. I don't have to lie on anybody.
This call is from a federal prison.
And I definitely wouldn't be in the BOP, being held by the BOP, detained by the BOP, and on this damn phone lying on the BOP. Besides, it's not that I'm coming against the BOP. I'm coming against this BOP officer. And besides, if I was lying, this phone call would have been disconnected. Okay? It would have been cut off on me. But because I'm telling the truth, it's not. I know I had a very good chance of beating my case. But that chance was stolen from me when this BOP officer decided to illegally steal all my information and share it with government witnesses through Tasha K. And this is according to the OIJ. There was an investigation done, a search warrant done back in 2019, back in 2020, before I even went to court, which means I really shouldn't even went to trial until this investigation was fully investigated. Because now I'm found guilty, and here I am, looking at all of this information that could have helped me in my case. It could have stopped people from being on the stand that were scorned or mad at me because they saw some illegal contraband shown to them by Tasha K. From this BOP officer stealing it. If I'm not making sense, just leave my ass in here. But I know I'm making sense. And all I want is the full disclosure. I want full disclosure on this investigation. I want to know this lady who stole my information and gave it to Tasha K. I want to know why she did it. I want to know how she met Tasha K. I want to know why they did this to me. I want to know who else is involved. Why? Because you're damn right I want to go home, bro. I want to get my life back. Because nobody deserves this. I don't care if you have a traffic ticket. I don't care what kind of case you have. You have the right to prove your innocence.
And everybody want to know why he says a woman, or how you know it's a woman, or who is it?
Who this lady is that stole all of my information and shared it with a damn blogger. Bloggers become bloggers, and big time bloggers like Tasha K by sharing information.
That is true.
Especially celebrity information.
Right.
So this BOP officer knew damn well what she was doing when she gave it to Tasha. She knew what she was going to do with it. And if she didn't know, she still knew the capabilities, the possibilities of what she could do with it, it being my R.Kelly's information. And she gave it to her regardless.
Well, of course, and she was a fan of Tasha's as well, and she watched the show, and you know, she decided to do that for whatever reason. She decided to do that, but she was a fan of hers as well, and 20,000 people watching live heard that.
Brother Crook, what up with it?
Yo, Big Valley, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? So everybody in the chat, I got my brother Jeff Taylor on the stream, and I asked Jeff to come up because I want him to explain to y'all why it is important that we raise awareness about what this BOP officer and Tasha K did, and why it is important that we bring awareness to this situation, because this is a big conflict that took place during the New York trial. So I'm going to let our brother Jeff explain to us what the feds needed in order for them to even have a case to bring forward. So coming to the stage, my big bro Jeff. What's good with it, Jeff?
What's going on? Peace of blessings, Big Valley, everybody in the chat. Yeah, you know, it was absolutely imperative for the New York trial to commence with Jane Doe number 5, because without her, you could not secure a RICO or racketeering charge, because they had to show.
What had to take place in order for them to bring a RICO racketeering charge?
Oh, yeah, they had to have a timeline. They had to have 10 years for within 10 years, at least 2 acts to show a pattern of behavior for the charges to stick with racketeering. And by her also going across state lines, that secured the sex trafficking aspect of it. And also her being under the age of 18, 17, but in the state of Illinois, 17 is legal. So, but on a federal level, they had to get her to go with the prosecution to secure the timeline to show, okay, I think maybe JP and her secured the 10-year timeline, because, you know, JP wasn't even involved she never left Chicago. So, you know, it was essential for Jane Doe number 5 to be a part of the case and to have full cooperation for them to secure RICO or racketeering charges. So that's why they went to the lengths and the extent that they went to get her.
Hold it right there.
All right.
Now let's pause right there. When we talk about pace, and we talk about Jane Doe number 5, what did these two individuals have in common?
Well, what they had in common was they both were, allegedly under the age of 18. And that right there also with the time frame, you got 2008 and you got 2015 when Jane Doe number 5 came into play. So that secured the RICO and racketeering charges, and also the trafficking charges.
Now this is where I was going. Both Pace and Jane Doe number 5 are the only two that's reported on file that showed this man identification, proving that they were 18.
Yep.
You go back to Geronda
when
she wanted to go to the party, remember? When she wanted to get into the party with her friend, the person, security at the gate at his house, told her, he asked for identification. Remember, the friend said the friend had identification, but she said all of a sudden, Geronda said she had to go back and get her ID. But then she said she was trying to figure out how was that because she had just left the court.
Exactly.
So how did she not have an ID? Then you go to the Dolphin Hotel incident when the parents dropped off Jane Doe number 5 and called the cops 30 minutes after her being in the room. When the cops got there, she presented her ID. In the state of Florida, the legal age of consent is 18. So these cops took that identification. You heard the sheriff also in Florida say, if R.Kelly commit any crime while in Florida, he will be prosecuted. The cops gave the ID back, and what did you hear Jane Doe number 5 say? R.Kelly kept questioning her about how old she was, to the fact that when she got to Chicago, he sent her ass back home. This is what I want to get this shit out to Wack for, because these parents repackaged and rebrand the same item and drove it back to Chicago. So in my mind, I'm starting to ask myself, when they took her back to Chicago, did they convince R. Kelly that the ID was real and that she really was 18?
Yeah,
you're dealing with two people, as in Pace and Jane Doe number 5, both was working with false IDs. Well, allegedly false IDs. We don't know if they was false or not. But they saying that they wasn't 18, so we're gonna say that they had, but they presented identification showing that they were 18.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about it. Like, both anybody that you noticed that was involved with this case that may have been under the age of 18 had false identification. So there's a law in Chicago called mistaken of identity. But see, they had to elevate a lot of this stuff to a federal level for it to be able to stick on some level. Because without the and that's why Kim Fox, that's another reason why, that was all strategically done to bring those cases first on a state level and to elevate it to a federal level. And now they don't even want to go forward with the state case because they knew in the beginning that was the play. You know what I'm saying? It's crystal clear. All of that was strategically done.
What up, Unc? What up, Unc Sir Miguel?
What's up, Big Boy?
So what's up, Jeff? So really, the way that I look at it is Jane Doe number 5
What up,
and
Sir
Geronda
Miguel?
Pace
Yeah.
use enticement inducement, entrapment, coercion to gain access to someone that they wouldn't have access to if they told the truth. Because the whole thing is this: they want the world to believe that this man like underage girls, but they try to silence the fact that each and every last one of these women that were proclaimed to be underage lied to be grown. If I like you underage, you don't need no fucking ID. What I need to see how old you are for? And then I would love for Wack to hear this. I would love to hear what Wack think about this.
But get the contract first. Like, so thirsty for money. She even went on to say in this series of sick text messages how her daughter should seduce R. Kelly and then have his child and marry him second, saying that her daughter is coming to her saying, I'm catching feelings. I know it's not right. He's much older than me, but you know, I'm starting to feel things for him. And the mother starts to say, well, that's great. You know, in so many words, well, that's good. You can go ahead and marry him and have his kids and do all this stuff, but get the contract and marry him and have his kids and do all this stuff, but get the contract first. Like, so
your daughter come telling you that she's starting to have feelings for somebody that she's okay. That's a grown ass man. This is my problem with the people that's against R. Kelly. How do you all not hold these parents accountable for their negligence? How do you overlook what these this go ahead and talk, y'all, because I'm gonna load up the letter. I'm gonna find this letter. When the letter, Jane Doe number 5, write to her brother and talking to her brother, telling the brother how she told her mom that she started to have feelings for Rob and fell in love with Robert. You know, she liked R. Kelly, but she didn't fell in love with Robert, and say she tried to she tried to push herself onto him, but he didn't take any interest into her. So she was gonna back off. This shit is all documented, but this is the shit that's not being talked about. When these people come out here talking shit and talking negative about this situation, they're not talking about the shit that the measures. They're not talking about the extreme measures that these parents in these women to get access to this man. Sir Miguel, what you got to say, bro? What you got to say? Go ahead, man. Take the floor.
Well, let me give you some requirements on obtaining a Florida driver's license. It must be at least 16 years old. And it says must hold learner's license for at least 1 year, 12 months, or reach the age of 18, whichever comes first. A parent, legal guardian, or responsible adult over 21 must complete the certification of minor driving experience form, certifying the driver has 50 hours of driving experience, of which 10 hours must be at night. Use this practice log sheet to track driving experience and time. So if she had a driver's license and that's her ID, I believe she was already 18 when she was at that hotel. Because if her birthday is in December, she would have to have that learner's permit up until December in order for her to legally drive on. In other words, she'd have to legally drive on her own. with a parent. Can't drive by yourself.
And right, and hold on, because didn't her father come out and say they bought her a car and she drove herself to the hotel?
Yep.
They were looking for her and didn't know what she had went.
Yep. Yep. And as you stated earlier, and I remember the sheriff had said that about, if R. Kelly, doing anything illegal, they would, go after him or whatever the case may be. And if you go back to that whole thing, if she was under 18 in a hotel, they would have dragged R. Kelly ass about that hotel. He would have been booked, so forth and so on. And they would have turned her over to her parents right then and there. No excuses, no exceptions. Respectfully speaking. Again,
What's on in here?
greetings, again, Jeff and J Rock. My bad.
What's going on, bro? Peace and blessings to you, brothers.
What up, Sir Miguel?
What's y'all good, know Jeff? Big Bob don't motherfucking play. I don't play.
What's good
hold
with
on, hold on, 1 second, J Rock. We gotta throw the disclaimer in there because we on positivity only, positive energy only, love only. You know what I'm saying? We one directional, and that means straightforward. With that, none of the nonsense, none of that. We over here want nice and straightforward, positive energy, man. So I'm gonna throw the disclaimer. J Rock, man, bring us there in this walk, man. Welcome to Big Val Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Val Opinion Platform. What's good, J Rock? What you see on the screen is this is the letter from Jane Doe number 5. J Rock, you want me to read this letter before you go so you can expound on the letter too?
No, go ahead.
It says that that's another reason I know they were trying to set him up, but offer the police. But after the police came in the room and saw that there wasn't any wrongdoing going on, Ma and Pops realized that their plan pretty much did not work. So obviously, they decided to back off of their plan at the time. Brother, I'm telling you the truth. I cannot make this up. Then later on, after I started getting to know him, and what I mean by that is becoming friends, I admit I started developing feelings for him and went from being excited to be around R. Kelly, the celebrity, which she said she didn't even know R. Kelly. She said she had never heard none of his music. So how are you excited to be around the celebrity R. Kelly? You say you didn't even know him. You didn't even like his music. That's what you said. Her words. But she say to falling in love with Robert, the person. Even though I wanted to have sex with him and actually hinted towards that a few times, I backed up from it because he was not showing the same interest. I told Ma that on several occasions. but she just kept on pushing me, just trying to make me have some type of sexual relationship with him. And the more that happened, the more I started feeling like a hoe, because I started realizing that my own parents were just using me and my vagina to get money from R. Kelly.
Where do I begin? You can't push your daughter on a grown man like that and then turn around and claim victim sitting across from Gayle King. You basically have just, like we said in the letter, you basically hoard your daughter out. That's what you actually do. You actually put your daughter up. You use her vagina as a transactional tool to get whatever you could out of R. Kelly. When the plan backfired, you decide to cry wolf and use the media in the process. See, even she said in the letter that she developed feelings for him. You don't develop a feelings for a man that made you a victim. That's what kills me about this whole thing. You plot, plan, and scheme. You do all this unscrupulous shit to try to get next to him. Then when you get next to him, then it don't work out the way you want to. Now all of a sudden you want to cry foul. And the fact that your daughter has been used as a pawn by your own hands, can you say unfit parent, boys and girls?
But the other people don't see that. The people that they, like they say we protecting R. Kelly, but look at the type of parents that they defended.
If they can't see that, they're as blind as Stevie Wonder in a blackout. But look at they talk about us for defending this situation, the injustice that's taking place with R. Kelly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how else can you put it? I mean, the only thing different was you could have named Angelo Pretty Tony, and Alice could have been his bottom hoe. To me, that's all that's missing.
Yeah. It just seems like a pattern of behavior with these accusations, opposed to a pattern of behavior with R. Kelly. It's just like J. Rod just said. People have a pattern of getting mad and not getting what they wanted, and then come with accusations and all these different all this propaganda. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like a pattern of people going to Susan Logan's and trying to get some lawsuits instead of some legal retribution out the situation. If you were abused, I don't think you would seek monetary gain. You would go after something legal. You know what I'm saying? But they want to say R. Kelly have a pattern of behavior, but what about these people's patterns of behavior?
Exactly, Jeff. And I totally agree with you. And also, there's another angle to this, man. I mean, in regards to why all these people and everybody coming at R. Kelly like they are. Why is it that every time after a while I start doing some digging on some stuff and I start finding out other stuff along the way? And people said a while back, and even now they're saying that this whole thing is bigger than R. Kelly, which is actually true. But in this regard, with R. Kelly is this. I do believe that it's bigger than R. Kelly, but also that there's some other entities involved in play and other reasoning for it. And Jeff, you from Chicago, so I know you can contest to this. John Burge, who I talked about yesterday. I did a little digging. He died in I thought he died like 2010, 2011. The man died 2018. There was an article that was out. September 19, 2018, he died. It said John Burge, the former police commander who reported torture of criminal suspects and cost the city more than $100 million in legal fees, reparations, and prompted the governor to pardon 4 death row inmates and halt capital punishment in Illinois, died this week. He was 70 years old. This man had done so much unscrupulous shit in Chicago. He laid a black eye on the city of Chicago and a black eye on the law enforcement and the justice system in Chicago. I believe that I think the city of Chicago justice system was already hot. They were mad that R. Kelly got off in the 2008 trial, but I think also Chicago justice system, they wanted a win. Because John Burge did so much damage to the reputation to the Chicago law enforcement, they needed a win from somewhere. And when R. Kelly just so happened to pop up, it was the perfect opportunity. Why do you think Kim Fox all of a sudden jumped on it so fast? This was 2019. John Burge only been dead for 3.5. He died 3.5 months before Surviving R. Kelly came out. It had a black guy in it. Shoot, Jeff, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm off base on anything.
Oh no, you right on time.
When I went through it, I was like, this man cost the city of Chicago over $100 million, multiple lawsuits, and still had even more lawsuits on top of it. And I'm like the city of Chicago, even and who was it? The mayor Rahm Emanuel. What did he say about him? He said that he called that he publicly apologized and called John Burge's tenure a dark chapter and the city's indifference and complicity in it. So with the fuckery he pulled, Chicago's law enforcement needed something. They needed a win badly. They needed something to say, you know what, to give them credibility in the face of its citizens as well as possibly the nation. So then comes R. Kelly with the opportunity for them to have their so-called redemption. And if you decide to come up and say, hell, we put away a serial predator in our eyes that's been around for over 20 years. And it just so
we only got 60 likes. We only got 60 likes in for this file content. I thought y'all didn't want no drama. I thought y'all didn't want the beef. Seems like y'all don't want the good content either. We only got 60 likes with 102 in the chat. Man, come on, don't do us like that. The like button is free, baby. The like button is free, baby. That's on me, baby. Them likes is free, baby. Come on, man. Get them likes up. All right, J-Rock.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Talk your shit, man. But you know, everything he did, and then they said John Burge was convicted on federal charges of perjury and obstruction of justice in 2010 for denying that he had taken any part in any kind of cruel and unusual punishment with prisoners in custody. And then he said when he was confronted with his sentence, he said he was a broken man. Dude, for over 100 people that he done already put away and incarcerated under false imprisonment and bogus confessions and testimony. He put such a dark cloud over the city of Chicago, and it ain't even funny. Yeah, it's crazy. And then I remember seeing an interview with him. I remember I saw a video interview with him, and he said he couldn't and was asked, would he ever go back to Chicago again? He said, I can't go back. He said, because too many people want me dead.
Somebody else working their way down that same road. So let's point out something else. When we talk about the luck of the draw, they talk about the luck of the draw, right? With chaos. How ironic is it that in 2019, when they come and bring this case against him, the star investigator from the 2008 trial that was still living miraculously get attacked outside of his home, hit his head on the concrete and die. Jack Palladino. Linda Minch, one of the other key pieces to him winning in 2008. This woman is ran over in broad daylight, left in the middle of the street. The star witness in the Chicago trial, father, mysteriously have a heart attack, but R.Kelly makes the obituary, but he abused his daughter. COVID. Now the jails are shut down. So all communications between R.Kelly and his attorneys is telecommunications. How much of a coincidence, like Chaos told Storm, that this shit falls into place the way that it did?
I don't believe ain't no coincidences. And then on top of that, if you throw in John Burge with everything he done did, you sprinkle in Laquan McDonald on top of that, it's not a good look for Chicago justice system at all. So no, there is no coincidences, especially everything. Oh, I got a little something about Kim. Oh yeah, the hotline with Kim Fox.
Kim Fox come out and say, after watching Surviving R.Kelly, was the only reason why she brought the case, because she was a victim of sexual assault. She said this.
Let me ask you this question, Vi. How often do you think politicians and so-called potential donors have contact even before election season? I'm asking this question for a reason. And the reason why I asked this question was because I did a little bit more digging. And boy, here's what I found out. We all know George Soros donated $2 million to Kim Fox's campaign, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 2020. Look what George Soros did. Listen what George Soros did in 2018. Billionaire investor George Soros made a big bet on music streaming services, and it looks like it's paying off. This was August 14, 2018. Billionaire investor George Soros made a big bet on music streaming platforms in the second quarter. His fund, Soros Funds Management, bought 728,700 shares of Spotify, currently valued at $1.226 million in the second quarter, according to documents filed Tuesday. It also loaded up 7.12 million shares of Pandora stock, currently valued at $56.1 million, the filing showed. That's a total of $178.7 million invested across the two services. Now, although it said it's not known when exactly Soros took these positions, but Spotify spiked 27% in the period and the initial public offering $132 per share through the end of June. It's since risen another 15%. Meanwhile, Pandora soared to 57% the second quarter, ending at $7.88. So George Soros invested in Pandora and Spotify. This article came out August 14, 2018. 4 or 5 months before Surviving R.Kelly comes out. So you got George Soros making this type of investment, plus a year and a half later, he donates $2 million to Kim Fox, who just so happens to have a man locked up that just so happened to be the greatest singer-songwriter of the modern era.
Yeah, that's too much of a coincidence, bro.
Bruh. Jeff, who you telling, man? I just found all this out today.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about getting the big fish. And like J-Rock always say, as close or around election time for some reason, it's this whole political move, this whole political shift. And there's all that, like, the last time, right before Kells, it was Bill Cosby and Weinstein. And then you had Epstein and now R. Kelly. You know, it's like, who's next? You know what I'm saying? They tried to get Russell Simmons, but he got the hell up out of Dodge.
Yep, that's a good point. If y'all want me to, I can load up these two articles in the private chat, or I can put them in the public chat. Also, either way.
Oh yeah, either or. So with the whole thing with Kim Fox, I'm happy that it got thrown out. The state case, that's a win in the right direction. But man, I really want to see this brother come home and get this let's get this New York thing. You know, that's when I'll really be ready to celebrate. You know, it's like, you know, once that whole New York mess, because that was just such a miscarriage of justice, because people have to ask themselves. I had someone that, you know, a friend of mine that hasn't really been following this, but they're starting to see the light. And they're like, did any of his accusers come from the state of New York? I'm like, not one, bro. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, why was that not even a motion setting in place to move a change of venue from that whole jurisdiction when there's no allegations coming from that whole state? It just opens up, leeway.
It got a because of faith.
Yeah, it just opens up leeway to ask more questions about the obvious corruption that's surrounding this in the political, aspect of it. But how can you have how can you have a full, federal case in one jurisdiction and not one accuser from that particular jurisdiction? Is just crazy.
No, what you see on the stream, Dr. Turner, the guy who supposed to been testifying about this sexual shit. And this is from the transcript. It talks about the government clearly seeks to rely on Dr. Turner's testimony to bolster the credibility of certain minors who the evidence will show were not minors at the time of their sexual relationships with the defendant.
Man.
They say the government seeks to unfairly rehabilitate their witnesses, many of whom never alleged abuse by Kelly until decades after the fact and some of whom did alleged sex. So it's so much shit that Ann Donnelly allowed. She had a kangaroo court, man.
That's an
She allowed.
understatement.
I mean, I mean, it looked like from the shit that she allowed to go on in her courtroom, man. I won't be surprised if this woman is led out in handcuffs, man. She had the power right now. She had the power right now to make these people present this information to R.Kelly and his team. She has the power to do this.
Then, nephew, my question would be, who has been in her ear? Who's been talking to her?
The same as Chicago with Leonard. They delayed the trial by a day. Then he come back and tell R. Kelly legal team that they need to speed up. Well, the court was delayed because of you. And that gave Jim Derogatis time to file a motion to not take the stand.
Yeah, then they turn around and pull the Teddy Pendergrass and talk about turn off the lights day before you even before you have to testify, which nobody on this panel or this chat believes that was any type of coincidence whatsoever.
Hey, you guys are absolutely correct. They have the power to do whatever they see that they see fit in their agenda. We could just look at the Jussie Smollett situation. He got sentenced and his appeal went through within the same week and he was walking out the door the next day. So they can expedite that if they wanted to, what the state should do. Right. So it doesn't have to be no 2-3 year time frame on anything that they know is an obvious miscarriage of justice and should be a reversal or an appeal granted, and immediate release could take place. And it's at the judge's fingertips. They just have to move on it.
So we did hear from Jennifer team today. And her team said that behind that they are moving forward with fundamentally. I said unfair trial, fundamentally unfair trial. That means they broke so many laws or violated so many of this man's constitutional rights. Like, I can't wait to see the appeal lay out. And this affidavit could be part of the appeal because this shit came out in 2019. R.Kelly said in the phone call that it was mentioned during the trial, and Ann Donnelly told him that they would look into it. And she said if there's any wrong, if they find any wrongdoing, that they would call a mistrial. But he said, here I am after being convicted, and I'm looking at all the paperwork. Now I see all of this stuff that I didn't have access to. That if my lawyer would have had access to, could have prevented scorned witnesses from getting on the stand and testify against me.
There is so much there until you literally don't know where to begin. I mean, all the like you said, all the stuff that he done seen, that he knows, and then with the investigation, they say, well, the investigation is going to continue after the trial. The hell you mean after the trial? This is the pivotal information that would impact me from even having a trial to begin with.
Sidebar.
You expect me to wait after the trial.
So the world is seeing it. The world is seeing this shit. The world is waking up to it. I'm gonna let us hear what Wack said one more time. And just like we've been doing Boosie, hitting Boosie with updates and hitting Boosie with clips and different things like that, let's hit Wack 100 with some of this shit. Wack come from the inside, so he know what a paperwork part is, and he believe in paperwork. Wack like to see that paperwork. So let's hit Wack with some of this paperwork that we got and let him read it for himself. Because he in the ballpark. He making contact, but he ain't hitting no home run yet.
Absolutely.
I think he'll be on for the next two to 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a loud goddamn magazine. 2 to 3 years. All right.
Lock him up and throw that cute.
Nah, because you got to remember, right, when a lot of the shit is coming out, that the parents was in cahoots with whatever it is they was doing, right? They trying to make this nigga look like human trafficking, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the parents was part of that. And what people don't even want to understand is that, like, the girls was able to leave. They could leave and go get their stuff from their parents' house or from whatever, then come right back. Like, it was literally, he pretty much had Bad Girls Club in his house.
And where he was going wrong is, he in Illinois, I think up there is like 16 or something, maybe 17, 1, 2, right?
It's
he in Illinois, so he jump on a plane, right? And we going to Miami or wherever we going. They trying to say it, all these state lines you crossed over. This state might have been 18. This state might have. You didn't have consent. That's how they twisted. Right? Like he really ain't did nothing wrong. Like he ain't.
It's just because he took him cross state lines.
He took him cross, but the same is living with him in the house. This is where they live. Yo, shit, we got to go to such and such. Right? Who going? Y'all, all right, let's go. Sprinter, Tennessee. Right? But now they saying, well, because you drove them from here to there, it's trafficking.
Now I see why the feds picked it.
That's why they picked it up.
Free R.Kelly.
It's a lot of the fake outrage.
Ain't no free R.Kelly. Keep him right.
Yes, it is. Free R.Kelly.
R.Kelly ain't.
Hashtag free R.Kelly.
Let's be real. Like
the one who said "Don't free R.Kelly," that's like one of those ones that they don't care. Like when the facts come out that you really didn't do nothing wrong, they already in their feelings, so they're gonna just keep on being an asshole. That's crazy. How you gonna say not free the man if nobody actually was a victim? There was really no problem. Technically, he didn't even break the law if the age of consent and all that was the correct age. You just don't like him.
Look, let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all heard any other victims say they was a victim?
Right,
that's
the
point.
No. That's the whole point right there. Wack, we ain't heard that at all.
They are being, listen, because they told their story, the feds are saying, well, based on this, we can charge them with this. I haven't heard any other victims say, I'm a victim.
Right.
Big screen. Yes. I've never heard one of them say that they was a victim. Don't let me speak. I'm not going to speak too fast. Probably like one of them on that show. I know that Surviving R.Kelly thing said that they was a victim. Literally, if you really think about this stuff, I say you are claiming you're a victim. They were all around the age. They knew what was happening. They all knew what was happening. Like, so R. Kelly being charged for all this stuff, the only thing we can say is that
so there you have it, man. The world is, like Wack say, the world is starting to see what's going on, man. But I see my sister Prima Donna live, and y'all know Prima barely go live. So out of courtesy, I'm gonna get ready to shut my live down for Prima Donna and her efforts over there on Prima Donna channel. She's live right now. I know a lot of people like Prima Donna, so out of respect, I'm gonna shut my live down because we got our point across. We came out, y'all already know how we do. We get straight to the business, no drama, no BS, straightforward content. And guess what? We're gonna bring it every time. Whether people may feel like it's repetitive or whatever, we're gonna drive this message about this BOP officer violating this information with Tasha K. And Jeff, tell us what again.
Oh, well, you say what was that again?
Tell us what the government, why it's important that this BOP, what the BOP officer actions be highlighted, because what the government needed.
Oh yeah, it's important that they highlighted the BOP because Jane Doe number 5, without her cooperation and participation with the prosecution, there is no RICO or racketeering or any sex trafficking charges. So it was very imperative that they had her on their side to testify against Kells. And we all know that story with Jane Doe number 5 was really coerced, forced, enticed, induced by the government and its informants to make her flip on Kells so they could secure a timeline to bring forth racketeering charges. So that's a false charge right there. That was witness tampering and a whole bunch of other and a whole bunch of other things that just were not done correctly, because you cannot break the law to prove that someone else broke the law.
Correct.
You can't enforce the law by breaking the law.
Right.
So shout out to my brother Jeff for coming in and explaining that legal aspect of it. Shout out to Sir Miguel. Unc came in. Unc just getting in, but I know Unc is a big Prima Donna fan. Shout out to J-Rock. Prima live right now. So if
is she regular live, nephew? She not on no Patreon, is she? She not on no Patreon, is she? Okay, cool. I can see it then. I can see it.
Live.
Yeah. I had to go through a process of getting off, man. I'm at work, man. A lot was going on. I'm sorry. I didn't get in on time, but I'll watch the replay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and bow on out and go right over to her.
Okay, appreciate it. Shout out to all the new people that came over today, man. I hope you all enjoying the content. We're gonna keep it clean. We're gonna keep it positive. We're gonna keep it drama free. That's all we know. That's all we do. We men over here. We're gonna handle ourselves like men, conduct ourselves like men, and we just gonna respect each other as men. Y'all the best chat in the world. I love y'all, but y'all gotta start getting a little bit more friendly with that like button. Y'all come in, don't walk past the like button. The like button is the door knob to the house now. You know what I'm saying? So hit that like as you come in, and so we can see them likes up. We get in the algorithm and push this content out there. The channel is growing. Thank God. I appreciate everybody that support me. I don't ask y'all for nothing monetary. Just hit that like button. Come in, chop it up, have real conversations, man. Sir Miguel, I know you probably headed over to Prima as well. We're gonna get over there and see what she's talking about. I seen she had some slides, some clips, and y'all know how she do. She get down, she the Jack Palladino on YouTube. So
I'm on my way over there now.
Let's head over and check out Palladino. I'm gonna be heading out, on my way out. Until next time, folks, y'all be blessed.